YouTube, hello and welcome to my review. We're not doing a light novel today. We're delving into some slop territory. We are covering book one of Guy and Smith's 8-book series called Crabs, about giant crabs attacking humanity. No, no, I am not joking. That is what this story is about. Um, I don't know why I read it, to be honest. I am a big horror guy, so I'm used to like giant animals in movies, and while they're usually cheesy, and spoiler, this one is pretty cheesy, they're kind of terrifying. Like giant crabs actually, like if like an apocalypse happens and just giant crabs started like coming from the ocean and attacking, we'd be screwed, man. I'm scared of normal crabs. Forget about giant crabs. But yeah, I read this. It's a pretty short book. It's not great. I mean, oh, Aiden, you don't say. Just from what I've said about a book about giant crabs attacking humanity isn't great. And yeah, I mean, going into it, I didn't expect it to be like high caliber horror novels like Pet Cemetery or The Exorcist or anything. But it was a little disappointing, mainly from a book standpoint, like an actual prose writing standpoint. I thought it was written terribly, which is disappointing because there are some good aspects, which I'll go in after. But let me rate on it a bit. Um, not a great writer. Just just throwing that out there. I don't. He loves to just drop the full name of characters for no reason, like paragraph after paragraph. It's like Cliff Davenport. Cliff Davenport. Like I don't know why. I feel like it was just really annoying, and it just seems bad. And he loves ending sentences with an exclamation mark, which is fine, like once in a while. But just, I swear to God, probably the most exclamation marks I've seen in a book. It's crazy. Like in a chapter, probably like at least. Okay, maybe I'm over exaggerating, but like around 20 or something. They just keep yelling, and I don't even think it's used for yelling. It's just because it's a shocking statement. But just like stuff like that, and just an overly like boring prose. It made it a tougher read than I wish it was. The characters extremely boring. You got the main character Cliff Davenport, whose nephew and his fiance, the nephew's fiance, disappears. So he goes to investigate, and he discovers these giant crabs. Um, he's pretty boring. He's just like this. I mean, I actually, I mean, if I had to say my favorite character, it would be him out of everyone. Just because it's just like this middle-aged scientist guy, just kind of acting like a badass, trying to save the world, risking his life to fight these giant crabs with the army, um, diving in to find their home base. And while the army probably should have people more qualified for that, he does kind of come off as a badass. But this whole book just feels like a B movie, like it reads and just feels like one. And how he like hooks up with this like hot 25-year-old girl while he's like a 40-year-old like balding guy. Was funny how they like immediately fall in love after like one day where they taught for like 15 minutes in the lunchroom. And then literally the next night when they were like scouting looking for giant crabs, they start having intercourse on like a sand dune, which is first of all disgusting, and two, you're on a quest for vengeance to avenge your dying nephew and his fiance, and you're literally in the middle of danger, and you just want a quick one with this girl you just met last night. It's crazy. It's crazy, and it's cheesy, and it's not very good. But what is the good part of the story, you might ask? It is the crabs themselves. A lot of the scenes with the actual crabs are fantastic. Just the way they kill, it's always so visceral how they can just chop off limbs with a simple pinch, which made sense since some depending on the size and species of a crab, they can break your fingers pretty easily. And he does do a good job at like visceral, gory deaths, like how people's limbs just getting slowly taken apart and then just getting devoured. And I really like the idea how they're not just like giant crabs, but they're like more sentient, or their brains more developed. So it's just like it's like an army of cow-sized crabs, and then they have a leader they call the king crab, who is like double the size. And this guy actually had military strategy, and they were like in formations and shit. And they weren't just attacking humans just because of nature. Since they could actually think there was malice, like they weren't just like a force of nature. They were like an actual evil entity. They made the crabs evil, and were doing it just because they hate humans and just wanted to eat them all. And I love that. I love that. I thought that was hilarious. It was such a good concept. I just wish the author could execute it a little better. Probably tune down on the set scenes. There's like at least 5, and it's like, I get it. Okay, if you wanna, it's a cheesy novel. You can throw them in there, but like, you don't need so much. No one's jerking it to Night of the Crabs. I hope, because they're not even that good. But I just love the vibe, how pulpy it feels, how gory it feels, the actual concept of like evil crabs, how it's this ball of cheesiness that, as a horror movie watcher who's watched a lot of horror movies, I've watched like good ones, and I've watched a lot of cheesy ones, like it just it kind of hits, even though I can't say it's a good book because it's not. It's ass, but it kind of hits. It just tickles my fancy a little bit. Um, I just love the idea of these the United Kingdom, the British Army is just trying to fight these crabs, shooting them using taints, mortars, and they're just getting nowhere. The crabs are just too strong, and at some points they literally outplay them. Like just an army of crabs out strategizing the British army. It's hilarious. I love it. If it was just cleaner, it would be better. And here's the thing, I am actually reading volume 2, which sounds crazy, I know, but I like it. I like it. It's a bad book, but I like it. I'm only 2 chapters deep, but it feels so much better, like writing wise. So I don't know if I read like just an old version, because the one I'm reading was like republished for Kindle currently, and I don't know, like I don't know if you just became a better writer from the time the first book and the second book was published, or just like different editors touched it, because it reads so much better. There are other problems with the book which I won't discuss here, that I noticed that isn't really writing, but yeah, I just wish you just gave this concept to like a better writer, which sounds mean, you know, for what it is. It's not trying to be super thought-provoking. It's just supposed to be a good time, you know. It's an I saw someone call this like their favorite airport book series, which I didn't see. It's just a fun, quick read. I think I read this one like in 3 days. Though it was a couple weeks ago, but it's a quick read. It's nothing great. In fact, I would say it's a little bad. But if you are into like cheesy horror movies, or you just like crabs, or you're feeling crabby, man, then I would say give it a shot. But if you think it's ass, don't say I didn't warn you. I think I gave it like a 5.5 out of 10. Just because, again, it was fun. The ending was fun. I don't even want to spoil it, but it was a good ending. It's just, again, cut down on the sets, tighten up the writing, probably made some interesting characters, because it kind of sucks following a character you don't really love. Which, he kind of does in book 2. I'm early in. Except the main character is like actually just an asshole, so I'm kind of missing Cliff Davenport, man. He was kind of bland, but it sucks following a character that's like an asshole, like just a bad person. So yeah. Anyways, crabs, it's a thing. Let me know if you've read it and enjoyed it. I don't think I'm being too hard on it. I do think it's actually just, it's a bad book, but it's fun, which can be described of, which can describe like a lot of B horror movies. They're usually like not a great movie, but they're fun. It hits the gory spots. Like I like gore. It hits the nice pulpy goriness. The idea of evil crabs are crazy, and yeah, I'm not saying I'm gonna read the full eight book series, but I'm not like disappointed. I gave it a read just because it was so small. It's a nice change of pace. Sometimes, you know, you gotta read some Kino like Slayers, some nice Slayers action, and then in the middle throw a crab in there. Throw a little crabbiness in it. Keeps me from getting burnout. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Just a small one. There's not much to say about it. I don't even really want to go into the story too much. It's just crabs attacking, fighting the military. Eventually, obviously, they stop the crabs, but not permanently, because there are 7 more books. And also, final shout out. The cover art is so good, man. Just throughout the book. I looked at all the books' cover arts. Like this one's good. But there's literally one later in the series where it's like a girl like on the ground screaming, a giant crab's over her, and then he just has like this tiny little knife in his big ass pincer, and it's like, brother, you do not need to use that knife, but it's so ridiculous. So the covers are goated. Gotta give that to them, at least. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about the crabs. Night of the Crabs. And when I finish the second book, I'll make another video and see how it compares. The bar is set pretty low, so it's not hard to improve, and so far, it does seem cleaner, so I am excited to continue the series, at least up to book 2. Who knows? Who knows how far I'll go. But anyways, thanks for your time, thanks for watching, hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you again in the future. If you enjoyed, like, sub, whatever, YouTube stuff, you know, gotta say it obligatory, right? But yeah, I'm out. Thanks. Bye.